Okay.
Let's go through Saya's book. It will make it feel so... I mean, I read this book and I feel so much better about the storyline.
So disclaimer, I didn't. I read a recap, basically, of all the chapters, but I didn't get to read the entire book front to back. So Eric is going to lead us through that, and I'm just going to give my comments to what I got from it and wherever I feel like saying something. I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't even know when it came out. I think it came out like a week ago, probably. I literally have no idea.
Pretty recently, I think.
Yeah, our Spike correspondent, Arisu, she linked the Kindle, the Japanese Kindle, and I just bought it. I was like, I'm just going to start reading this. And then like a few days later, I'm pretty much done with the book. Okay, let's fucking do it. So the book is it's Saya Kamitani's autobiography. It's called The Story of How I Went from a Dropout Idol to Standing at the Center of the Pro Wrestling World. So I guess my initial hope was that I'd absorb like a lot of her history and it would help me connect more with her character, because it's something that maybe most listeners know that I've kind of struggled with. Like, I don't know what her character was meant to be. I don't know, like, it meant her matches didn't resonate as much with me. And like, even though obviously I've acknowledged everything about her being a fantastic athlete, blah, 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 I kind of have the view that when I get more invested into a character, the better their matches are. I think that's kind of natural, right? It's like a positive feedback loop, right? Understanding
Absolutely.
the characters and the people behind the characters is the way for me to get the most out of wrestling. So I wanted to read a book to get more of an understanding of Saya Kamitani and like, why is it that she feels the way to play the heel the way she does and stuff like that. Obvious disclaimer, it's machine translated, so there's going to be some lost meaning, some expressiveness that's lost, some idioms that all of that stuff gets lost. So you kind of just have to roll with it and read the basic words here and there. Because I basically used Google Lens on my phone while I was flicking through the Kindle. So, but you get the idea of what she's saying, the gist of what she's saying. So, it is what it is. I don't speak Japanese, so and there's no translations of the book.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Did your phone constantly try to translate it to Chinese instead?
No, does it do that?
Mine does that all the time. It's so annoying. There's got to be like some military language that's like close to like, I don't know, hiragana or whatever. And it constantly detects like Chinese on my phone and gives me like weird military code and shit. Samsung.
Oh,
it's also the Google, the Android thing.
Yeah, I've got a Pixel, but I assume that the lens is the same on Android.
I think
but maybe
so too.
Google Lens is better on Google phones. I don't fucking know.
It's really annoying sometimes.
It was pretty good, to be honest. It's pretty good.
It's for books specifically. Like while I'm in Japan or whatever, I never have this issue. But
okay.
I'm gonna talk about it later. It's related.
All right.
Maybe.
Okay. So the prologue. So is it called a prologue if it's an autobiography? I don't know. But the beginning of the book is before any of the chapters. Is basically her talking about why she's writing the book. So she wants people to understand her journey and why she is the type of heel she is. She says that she keeps getting comments about she's playing the heel the wrong way. So she hopes that the book will give people more insight, as well as allow people to like enjoy pro wrestling more than they did before. So obviously, that kind of sounds like she's talking to me, so that was one of the main reasons. I read the intro before buying the book, and that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to buy this shit. I want to give a small summary, okay, before we get into the nitty-gritty. So, my view of the book is, I thought it was great at humanizing Saya Kamitani. I may call myself now even Saya-pilled, okay? I loved her running through her childhood, and how all those moments help shape who she is today. And, as we said in the title of the book, she is a failed idol. Do we need to explain what an idol is? Tim, they're like,
I don't think so.
Influences, but it's like
fine.
Ingrained, into Japanese culture. They're like musicians, but they're more general because they'll do some acting, right? And stuff like that. So, but they're also really popular. Like they'll do like Tokyo Dome and huge arenas, right? So, anyway. The first few chapters, awesome. Okay, learn a lot about her. She shares info that we probably didn't know before, so that part was great. Part of chapter 3, when she's going through the white belt reign, is kind of boring because it's just a recap of the run that we saw on TV with like no major insight. And then in chapter 4, it gets cool again because she starts talking about Chidori no Onirenchan, which is the show that made her famous, basically, well, made her go viral. And she also drops an exclusive. So, Tim, you've seen it, right? Because we haven't spoken about this.
The exclusive?
Yeah. In chapter 4.
Oh, yeah. That's what she means. Yeah, she does. Yeah.
So she drops an exclusive. So that's also something to look forward to. And in chapter 5, we hear about her view of being a hill. So that's where she explains everything. So I love the narrative. I also love the narrative between her, Tam, and Sayaka Kurara. I think that's probably the coolest part I got from this book. I love the lore. I didn't really know a lot of it, obviously, as someone who started watching Stardom at the start of 2024, right? Only 2 years now. So a lot of it was missed. And that obviously means that I think it's a big part of Saya Kamitani's character. And obviously you it's kind of like a kiss and a curse, right, Tim? Like you don't want that high barrier to entry for people getting into it, but also the fact it's there means the people that were there for the journey feel so much stronger about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just a higher reward, you know, a big
it's high reward, but also high barrier of entry. And so I don't blame people for missing it. So like when I was missing it, and I'll definitely talk about this, I'll talk about it in a bit, but the Momo Watanabe match, when I was missing that, I don't blame myself for missing that. That's like so many years of history that is impossible to download in my head. It just doesn't exist. And I also don't think they don't tell you, right? Because they kind of want you to follow along.
Yeah.
So I don't blame myself for missing it, basically. I don't blame others for maybe missing it. But I guess we're going to try help people understand her character. So you aren't as lost as I was. The other thing about the book that I really enjoyed learning about is, because obviously I've spoken about it on the podcast, but I was kind of unsure about Sai's performances. Like in one thing in particular, it was about her not going full heel in certain matchups. So the most obvious example is the Momo Watanabe match that I mentioned just before. And now, with the context of her book, I get the impression she does not give a fuck about traditional character alignment. She just doesn't care. It's not what she's looking or trying to do. She's not trying to be heel. She's not trying to be a babyface. She's just kind of rolling with it and doing what she needs to do with whatever story she wants to tell. So one example, well, she mentions Rhea Ripley as an example. Like she talks about seeing her at WrestleMania. I think this was 2024, so WrestleMania 40, right? And how captivated she was by how Rhea was a heel, but she was still really cool. So first of all, I think Saya likes the aesthetic of a cool heel, like Ozawa or something. But also, I do think she likes to stay true to the storyline. So with the Momo match, now after reading the book, it comes off to me that she really hated Momo. First in kayfabe, first for turning heel and then abandoning Queen's Quest, but then also for tricking her in the Queen's Quest disbandment match at Conversion 2024. So in that context, it kind of made sense to me why she was the babyface in that match. It was almost like she was summoning Queen's Quest and Utami's energy to beat the fuck out of Momo. And that makes sense to me. But I do still think that she does just like cool heels as well, because she's kind of explicit about saying that in the book. So that's fine. So yeah, two things. She likes cool heels and she will play whatever role she needs to for the storyline. The second one is way more important, and that's why I'm totally okay with her not having like traditional alignments. Because if it makes sense in a storyline, why do I care what, if they're a bad guy or good guy? Why the fuck would I care, right? All I want is a storyline to make sense. So as long as she stays true to that, I'm good with it. And I think she did in I guess in hindsight with the Momo Watanabe match, now that I have context, I guess. And the best thing is, I kind of wrote all that down before I read chapter 5. So I wrote all that after reading about her recap from the conversion match.
Okay.
And then in chapter 5, she literally confirmed it. So it was cool to see her recap that match, the conversion 2024 match where Queen's Quest disbands, and then being like, oh, I can sort of see how she's recapping this. It kind of sounds like she really hates Momo. And then in chapter 5, she's like confirming, she basically said she hates the idea of Showa era heels. She wants to be her own type of heel. She says that just because she's a heel doesn't mean she has to crush everyone. She decides to see how she feels towards each opponent and acts accordingly. She values her emotions at each moment and tries to express them as they are, which is why she's a babyface sometimes. She said that being a heel kind of means freedom. And part of that freedom is to express her character's emotions when interacting with other characters. So I was just I was wrong in the Momo match because I didn't have the context. And in the context of the history of Momo, I think that match is way more beautiful than I thought the first time. Again, it's a shame I needed 4 years of lore and a book to get there. But, Joshi don't really make it easy, do they? So it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
That is why we have chosen to follow these women. All right, should we get into it?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's go.
Chapter 1. So, chapter 1 is basically about Saya Kamitani's struggles growing up. So, first of all, she did gymnastics. If you didn't know that, that's her original background when she was a kid. She gives the reason for why she did that. She was always very shy. She was quiet. She used to never interact with anyone. So, for example, she was one of those girls that didn't put her hand up in class because she doesn't want to look stupid or doesn't even want to talk to anyone. And her mother is a key person in her early life specifically, and I guess her late teens. And her mother encourages her to start gymnastics. And quite quickly, I think a few years after that, she gets into dance. She becomes obsessed with dance, so much so that she dumps her boyfriend because she just starts losing interest in high school stuff and puts all of her focus into dance. So she was part of a dance group called Monsoon, and they finished top 3 in the All Japan 2009 Hip Hop Dance Tournament, and that allowed her to go to Las Vegas for the World Championships, and her group finished second, and it was her first time going overseas, and she was 14 or something. And that made her want to jump even more into dancing and become more obsessed with it. So much so, she almost fails high school because she skips classes to focus on her dancing career. And her mum basically has to plead with her to graduate as there's only a year or 2 left. So this is kind of an important point because she's thinking about becoming an idol at this point. It's her dream. She's applying to a bunch of different places. She gets into an AKB48 audition group. It's one of the idol groups based in Akihabara in Tokyo. She really wants that one because her mum told her that she's not allowed to go to another one because she has to finish high school, right? And she can't commute across the country, obviously. So there's other groups called, SKE48, which Yuki Arai and Tokyo Joshi Pro was a part of, that they're based in Nagoya. So there's different groups in different parts of the country. She's at the audition. She nails it. And she's sitting next to a girl, so you can imagine it's almost like a sitcom. She's sitting next to a girl, and they're talking about the audition and what questions they'll ask. They're kind of trading notes, and they both get called into the audition, and they ask Saya, what would you do if you get placed in a different group? And she basically, ums and ahs and is oh no, I have to be based in AKB48 because, I have to stay in Tokyo. And she finds out later that she didn't make it, and the other girl that she was trading notes with did make it. So now she has to see this other girl as part of the idol group, and she's not in there. And at this point, she builds a resentment towards her mother for fucking with her head and resulting in that poor answer. And she remembers this moment for many, many years. Have you seen the movie Inside Out, Tim?
I was just gonna ask you if you have seen the movie Pearl.
Wait, what movie?
Pearl.
Oh,
that
I haven't seen Pearl.
Audition scene reminded me of Pearl.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen Pearl. Have you seen Inside Out?
Inside Out? Is that
the
one
Disney
I'm
movie,
thinking of?
Pixar.
Oh, no,
Pixar.
that's not the one I'm thinking of then. No,
Okay.
I haven't seen Inside Out.
Okay, there's just this idea. Oh man, now it's too long to explain. There's basically emotions living in the head, and it's a cartoon, and there's core memories that people have, and this would be a core memory. This is what I would describe as a core memory. It's just that one thing you can't get out of your head from childhood or stuff like that, and it's like a cornerstone of your being almost, So that's kind of what it feels like this moment was to her. So she then graduates. She works part time. She's actually gets a part time job at AKB48. Would you believe it? She's just helping out, doing part time stuff. She's also performing with the Exile group. So that is the group that has multiple subgroups, and one of those subgroups is the Rampage, where Kaisei Takechi, that DDT superstar, is a part of. So the Exile is just a huge idol group. So she's just a backup. She's just a backup dancer in that group, and she performs at Tokyo Dome and Saitama Super Arena very young in her career. And she's working part-time for like 1k yen an hour. She has to pay her parents rent at some point, and she's praying that that part-time gig somehow turns into an idol group full-time, so it gets her into the idol group full-time, which is not how that works. She's applying to every idol group and agency she can find, and she says she gets rejected at least 100 times. And this is the point where she falls into a depression. 2016 rolls on, she turns 20, so now this is years after high school, and she's still doing the same routine every single day. Every night, she keeps on replaying in her head that audition and the answer she gave. And she ends chapter 1 saying she loses the will to live. So that's kind of, I guess, the first dark reveal from Saya Kamitani, because I don't know if she's ever said that before. I don't really keep tracks of what people have said in media before. So,
do you ever?
How did you feel? What?
Do you ever have that?
Losing the will to live?
No, but these moments that you replay in your head over and over when you try to sleep or
like
whatever.
Core memories. Yeah, core memories. Yeah, I've got tons of core memories.
But like really negative ones, like that you cringe.
Yeah, for sure.
Thinking about every time.
I have one of the biggest core memories. It's so crazy. I mean, it's so stupid. I mean, I might as well talk about it because it's kind of funny. So I had like a lot of anxiety growing up. Okay, not quite the same as Saya Kamitani, but a lot of social anxiety. And I had a best friend, and somehow we had gotten to the point where we were on a date. So I guess it was like, well, you know, it's kind of like when you're unfriend zone. So we had just managed to unfriend zone each other at like the right time. Like the windows were like perfectly crossed, and I didn't look great at all. Okay. And I just remember her making a comment. God. Yeah, I remember her making a comment about my appearance, and I
you physically
I will never
didn't
forget.
Look great. Okay.
Yeah. No, I physically didn't look great. I just wasn't like taking care of myself, right? I was like 16 or 17. I had a lot of anxiety, so I wasn't taking care of myself. And she kind of made a comment about it. And yeah, that was all it. That was over for me. Like I'll never forget that moment. And I remember I told her like a decade later. She was the best woman at my wedding. So like, you know, we're still best friends to this day. Yeah. But I remember telling her about it once, just because it had been like 10 years, and I thought it was okay to tell her, and she just burst into tears because she couldn't believe she did that to me. I was like, "What? You didn't do anything. You didn't know I had all of these issues." So that's that's like my core memory, I guess. Just I guess sharing with the whole world, because why not?
I have such a similar one. You don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I can really talk about it because
no, that's okay.
I don't know who's listening to this podcast at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a couple of my friends.
I know if she listened to it, she wouldn't mind. So
yeah, but I have a very similar story. Like that's also one of my most cringe core memories. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Yeah. What do you think of chapter 1?
I think it's crazy. You know, she's basically a second place world hip hop dancer.
Yeah.
And she gets rejected by like hundreds of idol. Like what are the standards for them? I don't even know.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
That's insane to me that she gets second place at the hip hop world championships in Las Vegas, and then she can't find a single fucking idol group in all of Tokyo or all of Japan that takes her up. That didn't really go into my head. Like they really must have like hated her or whatever. I don't know.
So what she actually talks about that I wasn't going to talk about, but you know, you just reminded me. She has like a complex about her height.
She's too tall, right? Yeah.
She's too tall, and she thinks that that's really screwing her over in the idol industry. And later she goes on to say, you know, my height became a good thing in wrestling, and she kind of finds it ironic. So yeah, I think that might be something. I don't know what idol groups look for, but yeah.
I think she also said at some point in the media that these idol groups straight up told her that they think she's ugly, like her face.
Oh yeah.
Like they tell these applicants that straight to their faces. It's
they're fucking brutal. Yeah, they're brutal. Yeah, anything else in chapter 1?
No, I think that's mainly.
Yeah, but I guess the summary is like Saya is kind of struggling growing up, and now she's 20 years old, and she feels like she's not accomplished anything, and she's like kind of failing in achieving her dream. So chapter 2 is being tricked into wrestling. So there you go. So she joins an agency called, I think it was like Ota Production, and the AKB48 thing is kind of done now. this agency is kind of more acting. So she gets gigs doing TV adverts, really random shit. She has to take acting workshops once a week. It's not something I get the impression she doesn't kind of want to do it, but her mum got her the job, so she kind of like keeps it up. It's 2018, so now she's 22. She's still doing the exact same routine, except now it's got acting mixed into it. And she's like a zombie at this point, right? Life is just like replaying the same thing again and again, 3 or 4 years since high school. Part of her daily routine is spending 30 minutes or whatever it is, browsing auditions on her phone, seeing what's out there. So one day, she sees an advert for a new group. And the only restrictions are, you need to be a girl and need to be over 13. She's like, damn, that's me.
That sounds familiar.
And it's an idol group for pro wrestling organization Stardom, and it will be led by Tam Nakano. So the group is called Stardom Idols. She fills out the application 30 minutes before the deadline. She makes it all the way to the end. She has no idea what wrestling is, except that it's always sounded scary, and she has literally zero intention of doing it. Saya Kamitani did not grow up a wrestling fan. She did not care about it. She even asks at the end of this application process if she has to do wrestling. They're like, nah. And she's like, cool, I'm in. And the Idol group debuts on 23rd November 2018 at a Korakuen Hall event at Stardom. They do their choreography, their routine. Tam has a match that day. Saya Kamitani goes to the balcony. She watches the match. I don't know which match she watches. It's not actually specified. But it's her first time watching a pro wrestling match. And she's blown away by it. She feels like a weird feeling watching it, especially them hitting each other so hard. I don't know if it was... So one of the matches on the card was Saki Kashima and Tam Nakano versus B. Priestley and Chardonnay. I don't know if that was the match she's referring to, or if it was Momo and Utami versus Jungle Kiona and Natsuko Tora. Either way, whatever match she watched.
Brutal.
Yeah, she liked it, okay? Whatever match it was. But she still doesn't want to be a wrestler. But it does kind of plant the seed. She's seen it now. She knows what it is. So a couple of weeks later, in December 2018, there's an event at Shinkiba First Ring, and that's the Idol group's inaugural performance. And the performance is a bit of a weird one, because they have to kind of sing to charge up attacks. And she remembers thinking, hey, this is like a wrestling match a bit. She starts hearing rumors, and people are saying, around her, hey, if this Idol group did wrestling, I think we'd be more successful. She just kind of shrugs it off. Huh, what a weird thing to say. Then a month later, before she knows it, she's a Stardom trainee. She gets contacted. She goes to the Stardom dojo one day, her and 6 other idols from the Stardom Idol group, and they're greeted by Saya Aida, and the rest is history. They just become Stardom trainees. So they convert from the Idol group to being a trainee, and the rest of the Idol group just drop out, because I guess they were smarter and knew that it was wrestling, so they just fucked off. But these 7, I don't know, they continued. So she talks a lot about how gruesome the training is. She broke a sternum. She specifically talks about how difficult the Kohai Senpai system is. So one day she asked the senior to skip a day, and the senior basically told her, no, you need to always work no matter what, even with a broken sternum. She'd broken a nose, sprained an ankle, all of that shit. One day she's at second at ringside, and she gets caught on a photo, and her mum sees it and confronts her. Again, this feels like a fucking movie, to be honest.
That's crazy.
They get into a huge argument, and her mum says she has to quit on the spot. So the key thing that Sai is trying to get across here is her parents, well, her mum specifically, her dad was kind of chill. Her mum did not want her to do pro wrestling. And Saya Kamitani just refuses to back down. And the reason for that is because she remembers the audition, the AKB48 incident that she blames her mum for. And she's got, what? I don't know how many, is this like 4 years? It's probably like 4 to 5 years of just building up that regret of not doing what she wanted to do. Now she was like, okay, now that you don't want me to do this, I'm just going to fucking do it. That's kind of the feeling I got from Saya Kamitani here. Yeah. She didn't really want to become a wrestler, but she continues to train anyway while living at home with her parents. She kind of just went along with it. She's 22. She really wanted to be an idol. The Stardom Idol group was literally her last chance. That is what she says. And when wrestling became involved, it's kind of like, well, shit, I'm in too deep now, like sunken cost fallacy sort of stuff. So that's kind of why she kept at it. Going back to the Kohai Senpai system, so that's having a senior and a junior, which is obviously a very common system in Japan. She says she had a senior she does not name them, obviously, that she'll never forget the stuff that the senior said to her. Well, first I'll say what she said. So she feels that some wrestlers were envious of her because she got there through being an idol rather than through a love of pro wrestling. So one time, a senior told her, "You'll be hated as a wrestler." So I think there's obviously some translation difficulties going on, and they're kind of trying to convey that, I don't know, she's not welcome, basically, right? Then Saya Kamitani says, "You'll never remember it, but I will never forget it. And it was when I learned how words can be used as weapons." Who was the senior?
Yeah. I was thinking about this. I really don't know. It's kind of shit that like a grumpy old veteran would say. I don't think that's something like I kind of exclude Tam Nakano, honestly.
Yeah.
Because of Tam Nakano's own background, obviously. she wouldn't say that.
She's an idol, right? Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I could see like someone like Io Shirai saying something like that, but I think Io was already out at that point. That was like December 2018 or
this is now early 2019. Yeah.
Yeah, so Io would be
she's in WWE by this one.
I don't know if it would be someone like Mayu. I don't.
Would Mayu really say something like that?
Maybe someone like Husky could say that. But
I could believe that.
Was Husky in there at that point? She took a break around that time too, I think.
Oh yeah, I don't know if she was retired. But anyway, have your guesses who the senior is that Saya Kamitani is calling out.
Maybe it was someone like Changa Kiona or whatever. We don't know.
Yeah, who knows? So
maybe Arisa Oshiki. That doesn't matter. Let's just
in 20. Oh, she was around in 2019. Yeah, could be. Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. So she said that wrestling was a weird place. It was tough and difficult. And she said that she couldn't really laugh because people would take it the wrong way, as if you're laughing at them. You couldn't cry. So when she wanted to cry, she had to make an excuse that her stomach was hurting and go to the toilet to cry. Mm-hmm. So she does eventually come to enjoy wrestling, though. And out of the 7 people that converted from being idols to trainees, 3 had remained after a few months because they all dropped out. And those were Saya Kamitani, Itsuki Hoshino, and Sayaka. So this is a different Sayaka, sorry. Just that's really confusing. Completely random Sayaka. You don't even know her because she didn't even debut. So she dropped out before the protest because she hit her head taking a bump and she got injured. But they stayed really good friends. So that's why it was important to mention that. And then Itsuki Hoshino did eventually debut. So if you're on Stardom Old Head, then you know who she is. And if you don't know who she is, then I don't know either. So welcome to the club.
I knew her name, but I don't think I've ever seen a match of her, a single one. So
yeah, so she was in Kamitani's class, and Kamitani did like her as well. So they were going to be rivals, I think, is kind of the gist I got.
Yes. So before people get angry, I think Arisa Oshiki became an idol herself after she retired from wrestling. So maybe she was.
Wait, so she started in wrestling and became an idol?
Well, she became a singer and dancer and actor after. Yeah, she started a music career after.
Yeah, that's funny.
So she probably wasn't anti-idol either. So I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
She did the opposite. Yeah, it's funny, kind of.
Yeah. So and then they both passed their protest in July 2019, 6 months after they became trainees, which is a short time frame actually. Yes. So that's another reason why Saya kind of felt that people were jealous of her, because they kind of blitzed through that to becoming to debuting basically. So that's chapter 2. Any overarching thoughts? But this is her getting tricked into wrestling by Tam Nakano.
That's kind of though that used to be the system kind of back when Rossi was still in charge. Like they used to rush all the trainees through that, and that's why so many trainees dropped out too. I think that's what I think Aya Sakura said that in her blog. That like a whole
she also got tricked, yeah.
I mean the really early protests, the too early protests, because entire generations of trainees apparently got lost. Entire generations got lost because
they got wiped out.
Yeah, because they were forced to do the protest before they even did any sort of ring work at all for some reason, because like their dojo was just shitty, I guess, for a long time. And obviously it got better now, so that's good. But
yeah, Ai Sakura kind of implies kind of when Suri took over, I guess, is when it started getting better.
Yes.
Isn't that kind of what's implied? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can tell that she's been training with Suri, right? Sakura. So.
Yeah. Anyway, no, that's all I really got for chapter 2. Yeah.
So we had really struggling to grow up, core memory, regret about being rejected, and specifically her mum being tricked into wrestling and wanting to keep on doing it anyway, partly in spite of her mother, but also just because she felt it was her last chance at doing anything. So it was sort of like a desperation thing as well. And now we move on to chapter 3A. I had to split into two because this chapter is massive. Because it's mainly just her talking a lot about her background, like her run basically since debuting. So 3A, how the Golden Phoenix came to be. So that was her first nickname, spoilers. So first she notes so her dad made a comment to her when she was in the depressed phase of her life. Her dad told her eyes looked dead, and that was also something she remembered. And now that she had passed her protest and leading up to her debut, her dad told her, your eyes look lively. And it was like all of the things she had hated about herself as an idol, like her slender height, were now an advantage. She felt she was truly finding herself when she started wrestling. Her debut was August 2019, as we said. So this is 9 months after she debuted as an idol, Stardom Idol. And she had no idea that you're supposed to prepare your own entrance music and gear, which I didn't know about the entrance music. I don't know if that's still a thing. Anyway, interesting. Mm-hmm. And she has to rush to get it sorted out. She debuted against Momo Watanabe. I don't think I knew this, by the way, until I read this. Because I just don't look up people. I don't look up people's debuts, so I didn't know this.
You mean they have? You didn't know they have to sort out their own entrance music?
Oh, that too. I also didn't know she debuted against Momo.
Yeah. That I meant the earlier thing. I doubt that's still the case, to be honest. I think maybe that was just. I think that was maybe just like in that situation, like a special case for her because nobody cared or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't imagine that's still the case. I think Bushiroad sorts all that out for them now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I knew that Momo was her first opponent for sure. Yeah, that's where their whole story started, essentially, right?
Yeah, it is like 6 years ago. Yeah, yeah. No, that's okay. She mentioned that she'd never imagined the connection that they'd grow over the time, her and Momo. She doesn't elaborate on more right now, but we know later she does. We get an update on the relationship with her mother. So the mother was at her debut, and seeing Saya try so hard, the mum kind of stopped talking about making Saya quit. So I think she got it the first time she kind of watched Saya wrestle, which is cool. 2 months later, 14th of October, and she faces Tam Nakano, who beat her in 8 minutes, after 8 minutes. So Saya says at this point that she thinks Tam Nakano felt guilty about bringing her into wrestling. So I kind of made a note here that this book has just like completely given me a different perspective of the Tam Saya feud, actually, that I didn't know existed. So you can imagine me with a baby brain watching Tam Saya, right? Not knowing any of the history. And I watched the Tam Saya feud from, the 2024, 2025 feud I'm talking about. I had no knowledge of anything else. And I thought that was still the best storyline of all time. And now I've got all of this extra context. It's like, I feel something's gone wrong if you don't appreciate this storyline, I think. I think even if you don't like it because it's not your genre, you have to appreciate the effort that they have put into telling this story, because it's honestly insane. And has any other storyline done this ever?
I mean, yeah. First off, I agree. I can understand it really if you just blow all that stuff off. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like, there's a lot of legendary storylines that I am really uneducated about. Like, I don't know, the whole King's Road stuff. That was years and years.
True.
Of interpersonal stuff, but I'm just not educated enough on this 90s All Japan. That's always something in the back of my mind that might like qualify for these, like, because I once read about like how Giant Barber, like how meticulously he planned all that stuff out over years and years and like a decade. for all that stuff to play out, and that must have been really like epic in the same vein, you know. But like, yeah, but it's really rare, I think, for like two people to have like 7-8 years of like all the story. Like ironically enough, I would say other Tam Nakano feuds, of anything, like her and Natsupoi, her and Julia was shorter than the Saya story, but more intense. But like everything Tam Nakano built basically was in that same vein of like years and years of history adding up onto each other and like bigger and bigger climaxes in their story. So that's kind of what she did her entire career. So
she's the best Joshi storyteller of all time, right? I mean, that feels like an easy statement to make.
Well, that's what I'd say for sure.
I mean, I'm not even saying wrestler, because if you say storyteller, I mean, yeah, that's a slam dunk, right? And then we can argue wrestler another time. Yeah,
well, anyway, for me it is.
So yeah, of course, yeah. So Saya Kamitani's like, she thinks that Tam felt guilty about bringing her into wrestling, and I guess it was kind of, at this point I kind of noted it was very poetic that Tam accidentally brought Saya into wrestling, and then Saya deliberately took Tam out of wrestling. Just that idea is that's what crazy. Makes that story so amazing. That they like kind of, yeah, because I didn't know that when I was watching the feud. I did not know that Tam brought Saya into wrestling. Maybe I was just oblivious. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Wait, did I never tell you that?
Well, we weren't talking when I watched the feud live, so.
Oh, back then you thought, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Right. So she said at some point after her debut, Rossi Agawa came up to her and showed her a video of a running shooting star press and asked her if she could do one. And then she mastered it in a month. Okay. Did you watch any of old Sai stuff?
Did I? I don't know. I don't think I did.
Because I feel like, imagine we saw a rookie today doing a running shooting star press like 2 months after their debut. Wouldn't we be calling them like the next best thing? And Saya was doing that a few months into her debut. Like, I just feel like that's noteworthy that we don't really talk about Saya being that. I don't know. Maybe this is all she had. I haven't watched any of her matches, so maybe she had nothing else in between the ring. It was just spots. But the fact she could do a running shooting star press quite early into her career was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So then she got researching wrestling matches, and I didn't know this as well. She came across Kota Ibushi, and that's how she found out about the Phoenix Splash, and she wanted to learn it because she said that no Japanese woman had done it before, and that motivated her. Don't know if that's true. She probably, I mean, off the top of my head, it seems true. She met Ibushi at the Tokyo Sports Awards in 2020, and he knew about her, and that made her happy. So Kota Ibushi is her idol. I did not know that. Did you know
that? No.
Cool.
I'm not sure. Maybe I heard it once or twice before, but yeah, makes sense. Makes definitely sense. Yeah.
It does make sense, yeah. So she talks about looking up to Utami Hayashishita, and her first future title match with her was, and that was before she got invited into Queen's Quest unit, which Utami led. She talks about COVID, and then she gets depressed for a few months because, you know, everyone got depressed during COVID. And then she went after the Goddess tag belts with Utami. And at this point, the important part is she kind of realized that winning was pointless because she didn't do much in the match, and she didn't feel like it was a accomplishment to get carried by Utami. Why this is important is because this is when she started adding more dangerous shit into her moveset, because she was like, I kind of need to impress people more or stand out more or be more entertaining. It was when she first teamed up with Utami she started thinking that, kind of like after COVID when they were back. So she started practicing the Phoenix Splash in August 2020. She used it against Micah on the 3rd of October, a few months later, in a title defense. And she says she's the first woman to hit the move. And okay, that don't really matter. So she has a match at the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom 15, which is what? I think that's 2021, right? Yeah. Yes. So both her and Ibushi do the Phoenix Splashes on the same show, and she's very happy about that. She challenges Utami for the red belt in March 2021 at Nippon Budokan. So now it's over a year in her wrestling career, and she's she's going to wrestle at 2 venues she dreamed of performing in, as an idol, right? So Tokyo Dome and Nippon Budokan. And now she's done it. Now she's going to do it as a wrestler. So she kind of realized that she was already attaining the heights that she wanted to as an idol. And her mum was at both of those matches. And again, they accepted the career path. And at this point, it was when she felt she could dedicate herself completely to pro wrestling, because she hadn't done that yet. She was still doing the acting gigs on the side. So 31st of March, 2021. So this is 2 years into her career. She's like, okay, I can be a pro wrestler, which is kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. Okay, the next important part. She moves into her own apartment in April 2021. And a lot of the evenings, she starts crying because she's so lonely. She's got no brother or parent to watch TV with, which she used to do all the time. She used to watch TV, but that was part of her daily routine. When she was in zombie mode, it was watching TV with her brother and one of her parents, or both. They had a dog as well called Momo. Coincidence, that stayed with the family. But now that she was by herself, she felt so lonely. But this is when she started to realize something was wrong. She realized she was very sensitive, and the slightest comment would replay in her mind all day. She asked a pro wrestler friend, and they recommended that she see a doctor for her mental health. And she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
And
that was surprising.
Yeah, and I don't think... I assume this is when she revealed it, just because of how Japan is with these things. But she reveals that she's bipolar. And she says she was on medication for a while before she was able to manage it herself, and now she doesn't need medication. So bipolar is one of the mental health issues that I haven't had direct experience of. I don't even know people that are bipolar. So I'm not going to talk out my ass, but from what I heard, I think it's one of those things that you can manage over time to have. It's like anxiety, right? Yes. You normally have anxiety for most of your life, but you get to a point where you can manage it by yourself, and it's just about how difficult the road to get there is. So she said now she doesn't need medication. So she's kind of in a managed state, I guess is the way to put it. So if you're thinking, Saya's bipolar, she now manages it. So that's maybe why, you haven't heard of it or you don't notice or whatever.
So I had a very important person in my life, like 15 years ago almost at this point, who was, it's always a bit hard here in Germany because our mental health care system is so awful that most of these things stay undiagnosed for a lot of the time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it was pretty clear that she also was bipolar, and I ended up mostly taking care of her for a really rough stretch in her life, and kind of in both our lives. And I know how it is to deal with someone or to care for someone with bipolar. So it's pretty, it's just very volatile, very quick mood changes and, very easy. Yeah. The very smallest things can really upset you badly. And that's not an easy thing to deal with. She couldn't go to school a lot of the times and stuff like that because of it. And she had real troubles just riding the bus with other people and all that stuff. So, and that was the only way for her to get to school. And it was a rough time. So I kind of know what it is like. But she didn't have medication for it either. So that's I said, it's undiagnosed, and it's basically impossible to get a good, health doctor for mental health here, because it's just so over. It's not enough doctors for all the people who need them.
Yeah,
I guess
that makes sense,
is the thing. You just don't get an appointment with a psychiatrist or psychologist or anything like that. Can basically forget it at this point. Over here,
undiagnosed
so that's
bipolar,
pretty bad. Yeah,
that sounds very bad to deal with. Undiagnosed bipolar, not being able to get the medication for it. It's good that Saya got the medication for it. Well, this was because it was 2021, so she caught it early enough into her career into being launched into superstardom, right?
Yes.
So, the way she describes it is it's exactly what you said, right? Like she said that she has days where she absolutely cannot do anything except lie in bed because she loses the motivation to do anything. She said it's important when those days happen that you don't blame yourself and you try to reach out to a friend. And she says in her, you don't call it manic states, do you?
I'm not quite sure. Like a manic state is a bit more. I think it's like a real freak out. I don't know if that's
that might be a different. Yeah, maybe. But, I don't know if that's borderline, but yeah, okay, that might be something different. But she said when she's in these states, I guess whatever, it's normal for her to send a bunch of uncontrollable emotional messages to a friend, and the best thing to do is to take a sleeping pill and have a good night's rest. So she does give some advice.
That does sound more like a manic episode, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the correct term, but yeah, people know what I mean. Yeah, so she talks about bipolar, which was very revealing. So then she moves on and she kind of, again, chapter 3 is a lot of recapping of her run. So, but it's important to go over these things because they'll build up her story later. So she wins the Cinderella tournament. She challenges Tam Nakano for the white belt in summer 2021. So that's her first challenge for the white belt against her mentor. She fails.
Not the last.
Not the last yet. She challenges again in Dream Queendom 2021. So they repeat the match, and she wins. And so she beats Tam Nakano. And this is when she starts to become known as the Golden Phoenix, basically. And there's like a famous photo that she has in the book of Tam Nakano wrapping the belt around her waist, happily.
Yes.
So there you go.
Like
she
a proud
defends the white
mother.
belt. Like a proud mother, yes. She defends the white belt against Utami and Tam on back-to-back nights in March 2022.
That's so crazy. I have no memories of this.
Yeah.
I must have watched both matches, but like I just completely wiped that off my memory.
2 nights back-to-back, Utami Hayashishita and Tam Nakano, and she beats both of them. So, as someone who wasn't watching, that sounds insane to me, that she got put over those two so quickly.
I was so
She
mad.
talks about the Mina Shirakawa defense, where she famously broke Mina Shirakawa's jaw with the Phoenix Splash. That's when she kind of stopped doing the move. So this was this was in 2022 still. She stopped doing the move, and she then defends against Momo Watanabe, who's now a heel, so she used to be in Queen's Quest with Utami and Saya Kamitani, and then she turned heel and joined Ueda Tai. And she defends against Momo, but she starts to see on social media that people are getting bored of her reign. So she said that her matches were all becoming the same, and without the Phoenix Splash, because she stopped using it after Mina Shirakawa's injury, she started to lose confidence. So that's why she begins practicing the splash again. So on the morning of All-Star Grand Queendom 2023, which is on the 23rd of April 2023, she's practicing the move again and again in Yokohama Arena. Well, during practice, she fucks up her shoulder and she can't move her arm. She tears 2 of the 3 main shoulder ligaments in her shoulder. So this is the day of All-Star Grand Queendom.
That's so sick.
And she still has this amazing match with Mina, which I have watched this match. And she pulls out the Phoenix Splash flawlessly, but it was kicked out for the first time by Mina, and then Mina goes on to win the match. But kind of crazy. Saya Kamitani had that match with a torn shoulder ligament. Two torn shoulder ligaments.
They went like 30 minutes too, right? Like it was.
Was it that long? Match. I don't remember it.
I think it's pretty long, like maybe 26 or something. And that's just sick. Yeah, she's hard as nails. Like
she is on nails.
The finger dislocation too. Like I'm not sure if I remember that. I think I heard on the day of All-Star Grand Queendom that she was like banged up for some reason, but they were gonna go through with the match. But I never knew it was like 2 torn ligaments. That's crazy. Like I thought she was just like, I don't know, like something minor.
And it was because she was practicing the splash. I've got some detail missing out of this. I remember she actually said she like brought a mat to the ring from like the dojo or whatever, just because she wanted to train it again and again. She woke up super early. She got a hotel next to the stadium just so she could go in there super early and just practice it again and again. So, and then she got injured during practice. Yeah. So later in the 5-star. Oh, go on. Sorry, you want to say something?
So the people on social media saying they were bored of her reign. That wasn't me. I've never been on social media telling wrestlers publicly that mean things or whatever. I think that's
not even MJF.
Nah, I think that's fucking loser energy. Like, I don't need to insult people on like social media. That's just, nah, you don't do that. But that was definitely me. Like, I was so bored. That was my reign of terror. That was my personal reign of terror. Her white belt reign was, I got so sick of it. Like, after a while, I wanted it to end so badly. And it was like the longest reign of all time. It was crazy. Yeah.
Is that why you messaged me and were like, hey, can we just skip the white belt stuff? You don't want to relive it.
Not just that, but yeah, I just don't really have much memories from it. For me, it was so samey. Like, she's not wrong about her matches kind of being like samey during that time. Like, and also, yeah, so I always had this thing where I'm like still a little kayfabe baby. And when someone beats my favorite for a belt or whatever, then I just don't like them.
You were still mad she beat Tam.
And I just wasn't gonna enjoy her white belt reign either way, because she was the one to dethrone Tam, and I loved that Tam white belt reign. I loved that white belt reign so much. I was like probably the highest, because a lot of people didn't rate it as highly, that white belt reign, but I fucking loved every single match that happened every month. And then when she lost to Saya, I was really, really not happy about it. Either way, that's kind of where my whole resentment for Saya always stemmed from. Like, she was the one to end that white belt reign. She was in the doghouse for me, personally.
Yeah, cool. Right, so then later in the 5-star, so this is a few months after she loses the white belt. So 2023 5-star in the summer. She's main eventing the opening night against Tam Nakano. Dude, these two, man. So she wants to go all out, okay? Because even at this point, she knows the fans expect a lot out of their matches. She says this explicitly, that they had had a lot of history already. So even in 2023, she knows the feud is kind of like a big thing, or like the rivalry is a big deal, I guess. So that's why she decides to climb the scaffolding a few meters in the air and does a super plancher. Think Shane McMahon, but I guess less high, and also much better.
High up there.
Yeah, pretty high up. And she hears a crunch when she lands. She looks at her left elbow and it's in the wrong position, so it's dislocated completely. She says she wants to continue. She talks a lot about wanting to continue and trying to get up, but she literally can't move, and then the ref calls it off. A doctor comes out and puts the elbow back into place, but she's still diagnosed with stretched ligaments because of the dislocation. So even though they were able to put the elbow back into place, she's off injured because she has to have her ligaments heal. So I feel like this is another important point in her career. She feels like her body is breaking down, and she's finally started to decide okay, maybe I should drop the high flying stuff. This is when she started to decide that, during this injury period after the 5-star, the match with Tam. She spends 4 months off.
I mean, that makes sense.
It's the first time she's had off since she started wrestling. So over 2 years before this, almost 3 years since she joined Stardom Idols. And she moves back in with her parents temporarily. So now this is 2.5 months after she moved out, and she completely disconnects from wrestling. She says this time she spent thinking about how she wanted to continue her career following her injuries.
Wait, wasn't it 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years since she moved out of her parents' house. Sorry, I don't know what I said. So she says this is a crucial turning point. Well, she doesn't say this, so I think it's a crucial turning point in deciding to go heel, where she's thinking about what she wants to do with her career in the late summer 2023. Yeah. Remember, this is only a year before she turned heel. We're not talking about like ancient history. So I think at this point she was like, okay, I'm going to stop doing the high flying, but what am I going to do instead?
Yeah, it makes sense. Absolutely.
So that's chapter 3A. I mean, you've been talking throughout, so I have comments.
They already teased with that at that point too, right? Because the whole Queen's Quest and Weirdo Tai storyline was about Momo tempting her to turn heel with the baseball bat and everything. That was always like the main crux of the story was she was unhappy with Queen's Quest losing matches, so she kind of blamed Utami for it, her own tag team partner. And that's why, so they kind of already teased Saya going heel at that point. In the end, she obviously didn't, and they had this big, what's it called? Makeup. They made up after the big cage match when Saya in the end helped Utami instead of turning on Utami. So that's how that one resolved, but like, they already played with the thought.
This is just before the 5-star,
Saya Kamitani. Right. This is just before the 5-star where she gets injured,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely already in the back of her mind and probably the Booker's mind. I don't know.
Right. You ready for chapter 3B?
Yes.
So this is her return from injury. So at first I kind of misread this and I thought I was getting some scoops with a Z on the end. And then I went back and retranslated it properly as like accurately as I could to make sure just before I actually mention it. So she talks about when her and Utami, so Utami was also injured at the same time as her, from like September to like November 2023. But she basically says she went to meet Rossi Ogawa with Utami about their injuries. And it was just like idle chat. They didn't talk about anything. But then a few days later is when she heard the rumors of Marigold. So I mean, everyone knows this. It's not like it's a secret. Everyone knows that Rossi Ogawa was thinking about this in late 2023, right? Mm-hmm. But this is Saya Kamitani confirming that in her autobiography, I guess. So there you go. Yeah. But she does not say that Rossi like specifically propositioned her to join or anything like that. They just had a chat and it didn't even come up in the conversation. So that's what she said. Mm-hmm. Who knows if it did or not. But the really cool thing, Tim, is that she had absolutely no loyalty to Rossi whatsoever. She doesn't say that specifically. But what she does say, that is so explicit and clear, is that she wants to stay because Stardom was the place that she was born and raised in. She said that she had the feeling she wanted to stay. The feeling that she wanted to stay in Stardom never wavered, not even once. Mm-hmm. But everyone around her, their hearts were wavering, is what Saya says. Saya says that she wanted to protect her precious Stardom. She said that a bunch of conversations were had in secret, but for her, where I want to wrestle is far more important than who I want to wrestle with.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cute. She said she made the decision to stay earlier than anyone else. So,
yeah, I heard that before. That's great. I'm not sure if I want to draw all these parallels when we're done, or if I should just maybe I do this after.
Okay, I don't know what you're going to say, so I can't advise you on that.
Yeah, I should. Shouldn't ask you something.
I got no fucking idea. You
tell
do you.
Me the answer to that's stupid.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna delay this one. But
okay.
There's some very obvious parallels to me here. To someone else.
Cool. Well, just interject when you feel it's more relevant. So, at this point of the book, there's a lot of recapping of her career, like promos and flashpoints, but there's like no insight from Saya, so you can just kind of skip a lot of it. This is kind of the most boring part of the book because she's literally, it's almost like a Shoe Pro report. She's just talking about what's happening that everyone knows about. You can get transcripts for, so blah, 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 blah. So Aphrodite, that's the name of her and Utami's team. They return and win the titles in December 2023, which is 4 days after they returned from injury. So yeah, they were pushed nicely. Then weeks
that
later
was such a weird time. There were literally nobody was around who could have been better tag team champions than them, so they just gave it to them, I guess.
Yeah.
Made sense.
On Christmas, 25th of December, 2023, Sayaka Kurara debuts against Saya Kamitani.
Let's go.
I didn't know this. I'm the dumbest fan ever. So, well, just because I just don't have history. Everyone knows history is not my strong point. So,
you didn't know that her first opponent was Saya Kamitani?
No. I do not look up debut opponents. That's just not information I look up.
I talked about that before. Maybe I didn't.
If you did, then it went through one ear out the other. I don't fucking remember. So Yeah, Saya Kamitani is Sayaka Kurara's debut opponent, and not only that, but Sayaka requested that she debut against Saya, because Saya Kamitani was the one that was carrying out Sayaka's technical training, which maybe that was known as well. And then Sayaka one day told Saya during training that she admired her and joined Stardom because of her.
Mm-hmm.
Was that known?
I did not specifically notice, I don't think.
Okay, but you did say it was a story point when she was trying to steal her from Tam or something? Later.
Well, let me think.
We'll
did I know that at this point? It just became very, like, clear to me then. I mean,
yeah,
I don't think I knew it in the moment, but it was like Saya was just whispering in her ear all the time, right? So it was, didn't really matter what exactly it was about.
No, but
it makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, you didn't know that Saya could join Stardom because of Saya Kamitani. I don't think that was probably known. Maybe
I'm not sure.
I don't fucking know. Right, so, yeah, this is kind of when I noted there's so many levels to this Tam Sayaka connection, to be honest. Totally helps me recontextualize the Sayaka red belt match.
Mm-hmm.
So that I kind of view that match differently now that I know this. And also whatever feud they're doing now. So yeah. There's some cinema here, okay? Some good cinema. I'm very excited for it, but I really liked finding that out. So, Saya Kamitani challenges for the red belt on 4th of February 2024. She fails against Maika. After the show, Taro Okada makes an announcement to the locker room that Taro Okada is stepping down. Sorry, that Rossy Ogawa is stepping down. And we kind of know what happens there. And Saya Kamitani doesn't really say anything juicy about it, so whatever. She goes to America. I remember this now. This is when I started watching. So everything here is very vivid to me. This is now I'm caught up. Yeah, now I'm caught up. So she went to the US. This was in Philadelphia because I remember her doing that Ring of Honor show. That's kind of why I remember it. She doesn't say if she prefers the crowd or not, but she tells us that the crowd are very different in America. She talks about going to WrestleMania 40. She loves Rhea Ripley, which I already said earlier. By the way, a lot of Japanese people do. Rhea Ripley is like insanely popular. It's insane how they don't push her stronger, to be honest. She is so popular. And this is, I mentioned it earlier, but this is kind of where Saya's thinking on heel characters started to form as well when she was thinking about what to do. So but her time out injured in late 2023 make her rethink her wrestling style. And then I think seeing Rhea Ripley in person in April 2024 she kind of started to figure out what kind of character she wants to be. But I think she's been thinking about the heel turn for a while now, basically.
Yep.
She retires the Phoenix Splash officially a year after she used it. So in April 2024 is when she retired it, but she hadn't used it in a year since the Mina Shirakawa match. She goes into the high-speed division. I remember watching this live being, what
that
the
was
fuck's going on? One thing I didn't notice, though, is that she changed to wear red gear to represent Utami. I just didn't pick up on that, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure if I picked up at the time on it either. Really.
Yeah, it was a nod to Utami. Yeah, that's what she says in the book.
Okay. I mean, it's pretty obvious in hindsight, but I don't even know if I really noticed the change in her gear,
no, exactly
to be
the
honest.
same. Yeah.
It wasn't really looking that closely at Saya Kamitani matches at the time. Do you think she's ever going to bring the Phoenix Splash back?
I don't think she will. No, it doesn't seem like she has any desire to. She kind of did it because she felt she had to do something amazing. Like it was like she did it out of insecurity. That's kind of what it comes off as. And I'll go into it after when we talk about chapter 5. But she doesn't feel insecure anymore. So I don't think she will feel the need to do that move. If she does it, it will be a story. It will be one of the story beats. Like, I need to do this because people don't love me anymore, or some weird stuff like that. It will be specifically a storyline device if she does do it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if she does, it's when she turns back face, maybe in a pivotal moment of face turn. I could see her.
It could be used for a baby face turn. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It could be. Yeah, but that's what I mean by storyline device. Yeah, it has to serve a purpose. She's not going to do it just for the sake of a good match, I feel like.
And if she does, then not like regularly, like maybe for like very, very unique moments in her career.
No, it'd be like for like a one-off big match or something like
yes.
that. Yeah, for sure. Cool. Yeah, I did kind of forget to mention, because I assume that everyone knows, but Utami left in April with Marigold. So Saya's got no Utami Hayashishita anymore. So that's why she wanted to wear red. She talks about joining the Catch the Wave tournament. I just thought this was interesting because she wanted to do this because she basically wanted to expand, broaden her horizons a bit and wanted to compete in the indies. So she got a lot of backlash on social media. Yeah, she said that Wave puts an emphasis on laid-back women's professional wrestling. Yeah, they do. Okay, so now here's the important part, and we're almost done with chapter 3. She starts to go on about the Queen's Quest disbandment. This is when I had my fucking eureka moment, okay? Mm-hmm. She talks about this, the way she recapped this match, I was like, fuck. The penny dropped. She talks about Momo Watanabe. She wants Momo to join Queen's Quest to sort of improve the unit after Utami left, right? Utami left. Who have they got? They got fucking Hina, Miyu Amasaki, Azumi. That's it.
Was that everyone? I thought it was 5. Was Lady C in there? I think Lady C.
Oh yeah, fuck it. I think Lady C was in there. Yeah. But she basically says this unit is weak as fuck after Utami leaves. Saya basically says this in the book. So she wants Momo to join to sort of improve it. And her inviting Momo kind of like heated up that Queen's Quest Ueda Tai feud. You spoke about the cage match, right, in June 2023.
Exactly.
And Conversion 2024, so this is June 2024, that was kind of billed as the last ever Ueda Tai Queen's Quest match. And because one of the stipulations was that, the last one
of
left,
them has to disband, right?
Yeah, one of them has to disband, basically, yeah. And obviously Queen's Quest lost, so they disbanded. But she describes the match. First of all, this cracked me up, okay? She refers to Ruaka's interference as Ruaka threw a deadly box. which cracked me the fuck up. To break up the pin on Natsuko. She talks about Momo's fake out.
Do you remember this? This was the miracle.
I vaguely remember it. Yeah.
This was the Ruaka miracle. This was like the one time in her life, and in one of the most important spots of her life too, that she hit the box with like perfect aim and perfect timing. Like it was one of the greatest, free count interference spots ever because it came so out of nowhere. Like the camera wasn't on her at all, and out of nowhere this box flew like at 2.99999, and it was really crazy. Like that was like the Ruaka miracle on that night.
Well, there you go, the Ruaka miracle. And in the lead up, I think like Momo is sort of like being flaky, is about to like whether she's going to join Saya Kamitani or right. She's kind of like teasing it. And
yes,
I think weeks earlier, she actually has so Momo whispers something in Saya Kamitani's ear, but Saya Kamitani doesn't understand what she means. And now in this match, what happens is Momo basically helps Saya Kamitani and turns on Natsuko Tora, right? And Saya Kamitani in that moment is like, oh, okay, that's what Momo meant. She's going to join Queen's Quest with me. So then all of a sudden, right, Momo hits her with a chair, I believe. I don't know if it was a chair or some weapon. She hits Saya.
It was a chair.
And yeah, okay. She hit Saya and basically she was faked out by Momo. And at this point, she fell for the trap, and she was basically trying to justify why she didn't look like an idiot. But it kind of worked for me, because at this point, I kind of realized, oh, she fucking hates Momo. She hates Momo. Yes. One, for, the initial betrayal when she joined Ueda Tai. So this is, I don't know, ages ago, right?
2022.
Because Saya was in Queen's Quest by that point, right?
Yes.
And now again, for for faking her out and making her look like an idiot.
Yeah.
So now it makes sense why Momo was the heel in their singles match last year.
I mean, Momo was just extremely despicable to the entire unit, if you think about it. If you think the entire history, like Momo just fucked them over every step of the way. It was crazy.
I think what happened to a lot of fans, including myself, who didn't know the history, is we kind of thought, oh, Momo's got to be the babyface. She fucking won the 5-star. That's so awesome. I love Momo. It's kind of like projecting your own feelings about a character rather than what their actual motivations are. Because Momo's an evil bitch, right? she's a nasty piece of work. And Saya Kamitani has been put through everything by Momo. Like, sure, they were kind of like colleagues in hate, but when she actually got to fight Momo, yeah, she's like, fuck you, this is for Queen's Quest, this is for Utami. And now, in that light, that match is so much better. I wish I knew that when I was watching that match live. That's what I want to say.
And so, you know what I thought when I read this whole, like, summary you gave me? So this went kind of also light bulb went off in my head. I don't know if this is true. For the record, I think these are this what does Thunder Talk call it? It's a cloud story.
Yeah,
it's maybe a cloud story for me. But I think when she failed immediately as the QQ, as the Queen's Quest leader, like she was leader for like a month or two before the unit completely fell apart and had to disband. She basically failed as a unit leader. I think this kinda also grew her resentment towards Tam in a way. Is what I'm thinking. Because, or like jealousy maybe, more than resentment. Because Tam has been like, an incredible unit leader, like, for the past 4 years at that point. And she founded this fucking joke of a unit, right, in 2020 with like these two newcomers to Stardom out of nowhere who weren't good wrestlers at all, Unagi Sayaka and Mina Shirakawa. And she made this unit into like one of the most important factions in the whole company over like 3 or 4 years. And she was a great unit leader the entire time, and her unit never failed a single time. So I think maybe Saya Kamitani got jealous about that of Tam, because Tam is a so much better leader than her and has her shit together just way more than Saya Kamitani at that point.
I mean, okay. We're gonna have to talk about it at some point, but the Tam Saya post match, right? Mm-hmm. On the retirement one, the Yokohama Arena one, Saya kind of basically says, you being so perfect is annoying to me. She kind of says words like that.
Exactly. That's
so
what I mean. Yeah.
You kind of get it completely makes sense that she kind of grows resentful because Tam has just been so nice to her despite her so many failures. And we know Saya Kamitani, especially the Golden Phoenix, is so fucking insecure, right?
Yes.
Like literally she does the Phoenix Splash because she wants to get cheers from fans. She says, like, she literally says it in this book. That's why she did that move. Because she won the Goddess of Stardom titles with Utami and she did fuck all in the match. And she was like, I need some cool shit.
Yeah.
So she has this resentment towards people being better than her. I think that's well established as part of her character.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, kind of tracks with me. Cool. So then after Queen's Quest disbands, blah blah blah, she has a autograph signing a week later. She doesn't say anything we don't know, right? We all know this is probably the most famous thing, right? I still don't know if it's real or staged, to be honest. Even after reading this book, I still think it's kind of staged. She said it was a regular fan, so someone that attends these signings often, and he was saying mean things. She stopped signing his 10 autographs halfway through, and she blurted out that she felt like crying. It was just a response that she was having because he was saying so many mean things. She doesn't say what. And after she said that, he responded with, I came here to make you cry. And she left and recomposed herself and then finished all the signing sessions in silence. She later tweets that night that she doesn't want to do any more signings. I remember this. And yeah, so then she talks about turning heel, I guess. And we all know that, so we don't need to talk about the heel turn. She just talks about it. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't give any insight or anything like that.
I was kind of thinking about this, and I don't know if this is I get where you're coming from, or like people in general are coming from and they think this is a fake story or whatever, or a setup, or I don't know. I don't know if this is a kind of work that makes much sense to me, honestly.
Well, it was a well, in kayfabe, it's just an excuse to turn heel, right?
Yes, it is. It's definitely.
She repeats the same words to Micah. She was like, "I came here to make you cry," right? She said that to Micah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a silver lining or like a fortunate accident, or if they really planned it like that. Because like I think that's a risky thing to do, right, in public, like with lots of other people around. Like obviously there were a ton of people at that signing, I assume, at least, and to have someone stage like harassing a wrestler, I don't know. I don't know if I buy that.
If it's real, it is literally the most perfect timing before she was about to turn heel.
It is. So, that's true.
There we go.
But maybe it just enhanced it, like accidentally.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. So then she turns heel in July 2024, and yeah, everyone knows what happened there. She basically cost Micah the title against Natsukatora, and then joined Hate, or Oedatai, which turned into Hate right after.
Yes.
And they still have Tekla doing the voiceover for their entrance, I'm pretty sure. So there you go.
Oh, that's
Tekla's. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Chapter 4. Oh, yeah, the one that goes Hate. Yeah, I think that's Tekla. Yeah. Right, that's chapter 3. All done. So now we are at her heel turn. So now she's a heel. So, yeah, the start of this one, okay, there is some really cool shit in this chapter we're about to get into, but we're going to skip over a lot of stuff because, she loses to Micah in the 5-star. That's not really very interesting. I'm actually surprised she didn't win the 5-star, to be honest. But I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever.
Yeah.
She fast forwards to her Tam feud. So this is the important part. So Tam had now beating Natsukatora for the red belt after she lost every single match in the 5-star or something like that. Classic Tam. Saya wanted to take everything from Tam that she loved because she feels that Tam took everything from her during the July 2023 match when she dislocated her left elbow. Tam replied saying, "But Saya Kamitani is something that Tam loves." And that annoyed the fuck out of Saya. This is what I'm saying. She just annoyed how
Such
nice.
a smart comeback, though.
Yeah. Saya hated how nice Tam was to her.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like one of those rejection things where she didn't feel like she deserved it as well. There's probably some of that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
sure.
she talks about the Dream Queendom match in 2024. That match had a lot of callbacks at her other matches. One was the Super Plancher, which injured Saya in the 5-star match. She did another one off the balcony this time. Yeah. And then she also...
It was of those entrance things, right?
Yes, off the entrance. Not scaffolding at this time.
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
And it was very far up as well.
They also did a spot where there was an avalanche tiger suplex and she tricked everyone into thinking she was hurt because she wanted to play on the July 2023 match where she dislocated her elbow. I definitely didn't pick up on that when I was watching live because I didn't know that. But that was another callback. And then she wins. She beats, she cheats, right? She cheats to win. And she gets Tam to wrap the red belt around Saya's waist, which is mirroring what happened 3 years earlier when Tam happily wrapped the white belt around Saya's waist.
It's not a perfect mirror, right? It wasn't that happy this time.
Oh, yeah. No, she was not happy this time.
No. She basically made her do it, but...
Yeah. I mean,
it wasn't a proud mother, it was more like a very, very sad mother.
Yeah. I mean...
For what has become of her daughter.
Exactly. So... She also wanted to go further and take Sayaka Kurara away from Tam. And she says, it's not because I wanted Sayaka, it was just to hurt Tam.
Yeah, that's...
So, Saya was just using the fact... But what I didn't notice here was Saya was using the fact that Sayaka admired her to fuck with Sayaka's feelings and make her feel conflicted. Because you remember Sayaka was like on the edge, and I was like, why the fuck is Sayaka not sure about what she's going to... This was me. I was like, what the fuck is Sayaka doing? Why would you join Saya Kamitani? She's a heel. Just go with Tam.
Yeah.
Now I know it's because she admired Saya Kamitani. That's why.
Yeah, that's so crazy. This is the one thing that kind of makes my entire like Saya Kamitani theory shake a little bit. Because it's almost too evil. Because my theory, like I've talked about this before, right? My theory is that deep down she's still like a good person. She's just hella insecure and she puts on this heel masquerade to this facade to masquerade her insecurities. That's all that really is. But like this Sayaka stuff is like so evil, snake-like that kind of shakes this theory a bit, because I don't know.
I think the theory is just that Saya, she says it herself, which we'll get to in chapter 5. And again, what we said in the Momo match, she basically just doesn't have an alignment. She just goes with what feelings she has with characters. So the Sayaka stuff, yes, it's evil, but you have to remember she fucking hates Tam at this point.
Yeah, but that is like real deep hate, right? That's not like a masked insecurity type heel behavior or whatever. It's like real,
I don't really buy your theory, so
it's real deep down.
No, I think she's
hate,
like, I don't know what alignment this would be. It would be like chaotic neutral or something. I don't know what it would be. It would be something like that.
Nah, this would be.
You tell me. You play D&D, don't you?
Chaotic neutral. That doesn't even make sense. I don't think.
Why not?
Does it? I think this would be whatever, like.
Yeah. Go on.
I don't know. It was something evil. The specific thing. I mean, at this point, right?
Okay, well, how do you explain her Momo match? Or even her Starlight Kid match?
No, not in general. She's constantly switching alignments, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, you're right.
But
you're right.
This specific thing, like trying to take Sayaka from Tam just to hurt Tam because she hates Tam that much. Yeah. And then she would probably throw Sayaka in the trash or whatever. That's like chaotic evil or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, what is an alignment that
I have no
will
idea.
Change? Yeah, okay, fine.
In that case, chaotic neutral maybe is the right.
Okay. D&D nerds, you can correct me based on what we've spoken about Saya's character so far. All right, so they had the tag match on the 24th of February, 2025, and this is where it was basically like if Tam and Sayaka lost the tag match, then Sayaka would join Hate. Of course, Tam won, and she wanted Saya Kamitani gone.
That was awesome, by the way. Great match.
Yeah, I don't even remember it. I might need to go watch it.
That was so emotional.
Yeah. And so she basically offered a loser leave Stardom match for Korakuen Hall on the 3rd of March. We all know that's an amazing match. So I don't need to go over that. Saya Kamitani takes a detour and talks about Oni Renchan, Chidori no Oni Renchan. So this is the show that made her mainstream. We have spoken about it before, but it was like 19 episodes ago. So I'm just going to do a quick recap. If you want to go back and listen for whatever reason, 27th of September, Korakuen, I think we were reviewing. But so it's a reality TV show. It's on Fuji TV. It has good reach. There's 12 participants. They take part in 300-meter races. And after each race, a participant is eliminated until there's a final 4. And there's only 5 minutes between the races. So basically, it's 9 300-meter races in total, and they're quite back-to-back-to-back. So it's very tiring. And some insight she gives that I didn't know about is she was contacted by a Stardom staff member to do the media appearance. She had many of these offers before, not particularly this one, but other offers, and she just ignored them all. But now she's red belt champion. She feels like she has to do them because she wants to get the name out there. So that's kind of what changed in Saya's mind when she got the red belt. She practiced the fuck out of the running. She said she used to run some days 100 practice races, depending on her free time. Sometimes it was 10 to 15 300-meter races. That is kind of insane. She didn't want to embarrass pro wrestling, is basically what she says. In February 2025, she made it to the final. So she finished last in the final, which means she finished 4th overall. And it got her a lot of exposure. Not only that, but there was a viral clip where she basically broke down crying because of how grueling it was. And that basically endeared her to a lot of fans because, you know, the real Saya is kind of a sweetheart, right? She does talk about this clip. She mentioned that it happened after the final because she was so exhausted. And she talks about Natsuko and Waka being there to support her. She talks about, I thought it was interesting, she mentions that she didn't have any makeup on. And she felt that that was another reason it went viral because it was like showing people the real her. And she credits this particular appearance to why the Korakuen Hall match on the 3rd of March sold out. Not only sold out, it was a record sellout at Korakuen Hall post-COVID, but it also broke their YouTube concurrent views record. So she does specifically credit the TV appearance to that.
Okay.
Right. Yep, loser leaves town match, 3rd of March 2025, blah, blah, blah. Right, so the post-match. She specifically said she wanted to have a last dance with Tam Nakano. I don't know if this was in the post-match promo or after that, but the point is, she accepted Tam Nakano's offer for by the way, I keep forgetting that Saya's career was on the line as well, on the Yokohama Arena.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't just title versus career. It was career versus career.
Yes.
And it's so important because Saya explains that was a key part of the story. Mm-hmm. She says that she wanted a last dance with Tam, and she used the word last dance specifically because they had at the end of a wedding party with the one you love. So when Saya Kamitani used the words last dance, she was declaring her love for Tam Nakano, or that she was special to Saya Kamitani by saying she would be happy to retire if it meant it was to Tam, and vice versa. I don't think that... I didn't think about that.
In the moment, I didn't know. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
So Saya Kamitani specifically accepted career versus career. And the quote is, I felt that if it were Tam Nakano, I wouldn't mind dedicating the very end of my wrestling life to her.
Yeah.
So her putting her own career on the line was her doing pro wrestling. It was her fully accepting the feelings of the challenger and as a champion reciprocating. And I definitely missed that. And she says that she used to get backlash for why would Saya Kamitani put her career on the line? Why not just put the title on the line? She did it specifically for a reason, deliberately, because she loves Tam Nakano and doesn't mind losing her career to anyone except her.
Do you think?
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Do you think like this crazy flip flopping between love and hate for Tam Nakano? Like constantly switching in a way between like these two polar opposite feelings. Do you think that's somehow something she like maybe worked into her character from her real life struggles?
You mean the bipolar?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I mean, she doesn't say that in the book, but like, what, it's to me, it's like a realistic depiction of like intense love, right? Like when you intensely love something so much you become obsessed with it, you do hate it sometimes as well, right? it just happens. Like, like the most in love couples will have deeply hateful like arguments, right? It happens. So
I mean, it's a classic story in fiction as well, like generally.
Yes, exactly. Right? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, but it could also be that. I mean, she is clearly very thoughtful about her storylines, and I don't want anyone to tell me otherwise because I've read the book. Okay, she thinks about these things, and so I wouldn't put it past her. No. So she said in the lead up to the retirement match, she would randomly tear up. She does obviously kayfabe it by saying she was just nervous about not doing wrestling anymore, even though she knew she was probably going to win. I mean, she definitely knew she was going to win. She does sound like she was legit anxious about it, though. She talks about the day of the match. Don't need to talk about that because it was very kayfabe. She does a full recap of the match. I haven't seen the match back, but I didn't like this recap because it made me sad. They're talking about the moves, the callbacks to the previous matches, and then she writes a transcript of what I think is the best promo in wrestling history. In the post-match, we all know about it. She says that now she's taken everything from Tam, she realizes that she actually loves her, and that even when Saya went black, Tam still believed. So Tam must be the brightest star. Yeah, and I said we're not going to do the full promo recap because we're going to cry. So what Saya Kamitani says in this book, though, outside of the promo, she says that she'll never forget the day as long as she lives. She basically calls it the most important day of her life.
That makes sense.
No, she speaks very highly of this day, and it's clear that it's so special to her. Tam, in her post-match promo, said that both... Okay. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you saw this on my note. Sorry, I'm popping at my own note here. Okay. So Tam said in her post-match promo that both Saya and everyone in Yokohama Arena would have to live with the Tam Nakano curse forever. Do you know what Sayaka Kurara's been saying recently?
Yes.
What has she been saying?
That she's gonna free Stardom from the Saya curse. Or she's gonna end the Saya curse?
She says she is the only one that can break the curse of Saya Kamitani. That is what she keeps saying.
Yes.
And to me, now that I honestly forgot that Tam Nakano line from the post-match, now I'm like, this is an obvious reference to the Tam line.
Do you know?
Direct reference.
Do you know what Sayaka also said?
What?
Sayaka said that she was gonna become the brightest star in
Did
Stardom.
she?
Yes.
Okay, so Tam is
That's
writing
the
this
two
stuff,
things
right?
she said. She said,
can we just confirm
she's
this?
gonna...
Tam Nakano
probably.
is writing Sayaka's storyline right now. Can we just confirm that? It's just happening.
I can totally see it. She said like three things. She said, one, she's gonna take everything from Saya that Saya has taken from her.
Which is what Saya said to Tam.
Right. She also said she's gonna become the brightest star in Stardom, which is what Saya said to Tam.
Yeah.
Right. And she's gonna break the curse of Saya Kamitani, which is
what Tam said to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Yokohama Arena.
Are you sure
Fucking hell.
that Tam said? Did Tam say that the Saya curse is now on everyone in this arena, or did she say that?
No, she said the Tam Nakano curse.
Okay.
So Sayaka has flipped it to be the Saya Kamitani curse.
But maybe, but I think maybe that's also kind of like a translation issue for some reason, because why would it be a curse? Yeah. Like, I think maybe there's like similar words for like blessing and curse or whatever.
Yeah,
and like Tam Nakano meant more like a blessing that is on everyone watching right now or whatever.
Well, I just thought it's like a curse when you go and die, right? And you just curse everyone that, that kind of killed you.
But
that kind of makes sense to me.
That would make sense if she was like an evil witch that died or whatever. But she was like the cosmic angel. Like she was clearly the babyface. Why would she curse everyone upon leaving? Yeah. That's not really. I don't know. I think maybe there's something missing in translation a bit for the whole curse thing. I think maybe either she meant it's actually like Saya cursing everyone by killing Tam Nakano, or it's more of a blessing. It's just a similar word or whatever.
But you agree that Sayaka has clearly directly referenced that line, though, right? Whatever word they used. Yeah.
Yeah. She referenced everything.
They've got 3 references.
They said to each other.
Yes. So just so you guys know, something big is happening with Sayaka that's related to Tam. Now, if you've been listening, you're 2 hours, whatever, maybe 1 hour 45 into this podcast. And earlier I said Sayaka was going to win the Cinderella and bring Tam back. I wasn't fucking memeing, okay? This is what I was referencing. I didn't tie it back until I reread this book and read the promos again. Mm-hmm. Something is happening with Sayaka. At least, if Tam doesn't get involved, she's at least writing it. So we can be happy about that. Okay. Right, okay. Now this is the exclusive that I teased earlier. Saya includes a handwritten note at the back of the book, which includes a Polaroid picture of Tam and Saya together when they were younger. So probably like 2019, 2020, I don't know. Saya looks very young in it, so I think it's like quite early on.
Yes.
The handwritten letter.
Is it like in a restaurant?
No,
can you tell?
It's like one of those in the photo booth.
Because there's in a photo booth. There's like footage from like very early on, from like their very first meeting or whatever.
No, I think it's just them hanging out in like a photo booth.
Okay. She talked about that earlier, right? When they were doing like the arcades and whatever together. Yeah.
Yep. So and it is handwritten. So I thought that was cool as well. So here's what it says. And I tried very carefully to translate this in multiple tools, okay? Because I don't want to fuck this up. She says, to Tamu-san. Tam-san, I guess, whatever. Because you were there, I was able to encounter professional wrestling. Since I found wrestling, I have been able to live every day with hope, and I'm very happy. When I was feeling anxious, you told me, Kamitani, you can definitely become a star. You said those words to me. I remember everything. How you watched my practices so many times, going out for meals together, and even winning plushies at the game center together, the arcade. And yet, I blamed everything on Tam-san when I got injured, and took the red belt from you. I am sorry for being such a hopeless junior. But Tam-san, you continued to believe in me until the very end, and you taught me many precious things. I do not know if you are reading this book, but I believe I am here today because you were there. The days we fought while hating each other are now dear to me. I still think of you, even now. Those were irreplaceable days for me. From now on, I will fight while carrying all of you with me. Thank you so very much. I love you, Saya Kamitani.
Damn. Beautiful.
That just gives me goosebumps.
That's sick.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't... This is what I mean. She doesn't care about character alignment. It's, what do I feel about this character right now? And right now, Saya Kamitani misses Tam. She just does. She misses Tam.
Yes.
So we'll see where that goes. I'm almost building myself up for disappointment, by the way. Why would you release this book? Why would you have the Sayaka storyline? Like, what the fuck is going on? You know? All right.
I don't know. I
All
think
right, we're almost done.
Like
go on.
in the worst case scenario, they're just building up Sayaka to become basically like Tom's disciple or whatever, the next Tom Nakano in a way.
Yeah.
And just hope that it works out and Sayaka is gonna become as great as Tom was. But they have their goals set, I think, pretty firmly in making this happen one way or another. So
I just think
and
the
in best case
insane.
scenario, they are bringing Tom back.
Yeah,
Timing
like,
is
it's
insane,
Yokohama
yeah.
Arena. Mm-hmm. They want to run a dome, Tim. They want to run the Tokyo Dome.
That's what I'm saying.
They can't do less than 7,500, right? They're going to aim for more than that, because if they don't, then it doesn't look good if you're on the road to a Tokyo Dome, right? Yes. You want to be increasing year on year if you want to do a Tokyo Dome. So I think they have to have something big. That's why I was surprised they didn't do the Starlight Kid storyline. And now this Sayaka thing has started. I mean, what is bigger than Tam returning, right?
But also, wouldn't this be the thing you do for the dome itself to draw the most people there?
Maybe this is the start to that. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe this is just a start, yeah.
I feel like this is more like a marathon and this just started now.
Yeah, all right. Maybe. Cool. All right. Chapter 5. This is basically just wrapping everything up, and there's some cool insight here. So I already told you guys about her hating Showa era heels, and I think I've given numerous examples about how she feels like she doesn't care about character alignment. She just thinks, what does my character feel towards this other character? And I'm going to act that way. And I think that's a very realistic way to behave, right? That's how we live our lives. We hate certain people. We like certain people. You don't just hate everyone. So I do like that approach. Is there anything new here? She thinks that... she says, when she was a white meat baby face, she felt boxed in and cramped. Now she wants to be free and show whatever she wants to show. She wants to be beautiful and captivating. That's why she says, first of all, that's why you need a good entrance. And that's why she says she has worked deliberately a lot on her entrance and making sure that she comes off as a star. So that's not an accident. Obviously, you all knew that. She says in the match, she's constantly thinking about how to look the best from every single angle, because unlike in her idol career, there are fans on every sides. So, she's always thinking about those things. She said, one cannot call themselves a charismatic pro wrestler if they only think about themselves. You have to think about your opponent and what will make them shine. So, if you can read between the lines, obviously it's like kind of kayfabe, but what she's saying is, I try to make my opponent look good, because that makes me look good. So that's what she's saying there, which makes sense. And that's why she says she doesn't bury people on the mic a lot. Words that, paraphrasing. But she says she thinks carefully about her words and she isn't just trying to talk shit all the time. She puts over Love It, which is the Friday morning TV talk show that she was on, that had the first live wrestling match on TBS in 51 years and the first on terrestrial TV in 23 years. She says it's her favourite place to be, and she became very good friends with the cast there. And that experience made her feel so much more comfortable with herself, and she used to hang out privately with them. We've spoken about Saya's struggles, fitting in, growing up and all that stuff. So the Love It seemed to be like a nice bow tie, I guess, on all that. She found a lot of friends there. She says she finds it funny that she dreamt of being an idol to be popular and in the center of it all, and then she utterly failed. She accidentally found wrestling, and now she was doing TV shows and rubbing shoulders with celebrities she never would have dreamed of. She says all of her failed idol days were all necessary for her to be where she is today, at the center of it all, which is, a reference to the name of the book. Finally, she finishes off saying, "When I was an idol, the dream of standing in the center never came true once. But after becoming a professional wrestler, I was finally able to stand in the center. I am surely basking in that spotlight I've dreamed of since that day. However, even now, I am told all sorts of things by those around me. Saya Kamitani is not a heel. A heel should not show a smile on TV. The image will be ruined. Discard your cuteness. But I will never waver from the path I have chosen, and I believe in my own feelings. Let those who want to say whatever they like say it, as it is not as if those people are going to guarantee my future." Then she says a bunch of self-motivation speeches at the end of the book about believing in yourself, because the person closest to you isn't your family, your friend, or your lover. It's you, and you're the only one who can't betray yourself. If you believe in yourself, a brilliant future awaits. And if you don't believe her, then she will prove it to you what she will end up achieving. She wants pro wrestling to be as normal to go see as baseball or soccer. She won't stop until that happens, and Tokyo Dome is the first step. So how I'm going to summarize chapter 5 is it's a defiant fuck you. I'm not changing anything. I will keep pushing ahead as being the leader in charge to make wrestling popular. And if you don't believe me, just watch.
Damn. All right.
Really fucking good book.
Yeah, it's awesome. So now, since we are only 2 hours in,
what do we do?
I thought, did you know earlier this year in Tokyo, I was in a bookstore in Akihabara. Yeah. I found a book there. It's Tam Nakano's first book.
Oh, I didn't even know she fucking had a book.
So earlier today, I sat down with my phone and my Google Lens.
Oh my god! Why do you surprise me like this?
I had this book laying around, not sure what really to do with it. Instead of like flipping through it and looking at the pictures, but like this kind of like, I just wanted to check it out a bit. Like I started like flipping through the pages and translating some random ones.
We're not doing show reviews, are we?
I thought we could do a whole another book review. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to point out a couple of strange similarities, maybe, if you will. Like the stuff she says at the very end of her book, right? About her wanting to stand in the center, or like that's the name of the whole book, you said, right?
Yeah, Saya Kamitani's book, yeah.
That is essentially one of the first sentences in Tam's book.
No fucking way.
Yes, it is.
Are you serious?
And Tam had like the exact same hardships as Saya in a way, right? She wanted to become an idol. She failed. She sent many applications to like idol groups and no one would take her. She was like a dance instructor herself. She was like a great dancer herself. She danced like all her childhood and stuff like that, just like Saya. And she...
What the fuck?
she only got... So she had to be like an underground idol, it's called. In like a very small idol group who was at the same time also working as masseuses in like a massage parlor. The Katamomi girls in Akihabara.
That's Misa Kagura was part of that, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And she actually printed like a menu of that place in the book too that I translated, and like it advertises with like you can spend time one-on-one with your favorite idol and stuff like that. Like it's kind of creepy. It's kind of doesn't sound great. Doesn't sound like a great life to have. And they were like so underground, like they're on their gigs, like they had as many viewers in the audience as they were dancers on the stage. Like that's how small her shows were back then. And she struggled like hard with that until she found like wrestling. Same as Saya, essentially. And she always wanted to be in the center of everything, and the wrestling helped her to accomplish that. And
I mean, fucking hell, man.
That's also like she talks about her philosophies as like a wrestler. She also says a lot of the same things about like entrances, how much thought she puts into like an entrance and stuff. She struggled a lot with her Twilight Dream song. When she sang that, because like it was more of a love song and it was only like 2 to 3 minutes long. So for longer arena entrances, it would like have to repeat and stuff. And she like thought about all that stuff very, very deeply because her like presentation was very like important to her. I think Saya obviously learned that from Tom directly, all that stuff. Also the thing about, what was the other thing? Yeah, because Tom came into stardom as like a heel, right? She was first in Wei Tai, and then she got kicked out of Wei Tai. She joined Stars and had like her face turn, and she described her wrestling character as like the darkness and the light both live within Tam Nakano. And that's also kind of what Saya Kamitani is doing now, right? With her like undefined heel character or whatever. And like, yeah, that's just a million fucking, I don't know, similarities.
Can you even call Saya Kamitani a heel? I just feel like there's no point like putting her a label on it, right? She's just
yeah.
She's just Saya Kamitani.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, and now we're gonna find out what?
No, I was gonna say that I think that's what gets people upset, that she does call herself a heel. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it's like she's in the heel group. And they like cheat to win and stuff. Like from that kind of definition, she's like by definition, her like the cheating from her stablemates and matches and stuff. And like,
I don't know. I feel like we're beyond this stuff. It's 2026, right?
Maybe, like, yeah. I have one more thing maybe to say, like overall, because like I heard several people, I heard like 2 different podcasts talk about it lately, that like what wrestling needs really as like wrestlers, you know, because many people are saying that like there's not a lot of great wrestlers coming up through the indies nowadays, mainly in North America, and that's probably true because like the arms race between WWE and AEW just destroyed the indies, and like new indie wrestlers apparently just don't cut it anymore in the same way they used to like a decade ago or whatever, when like the big indie boom happened. And now, like, people are making these, like, I don't know, these theories. They're making up these theories for why indie wrestlers don't cut it anymore and stuff. And, like, I heard people say that you need more, like, idiot athletes who don't really care about wrestling and who are just, like, great athletes and can do moves, and they're gonna learn all the other stuff later. And I kind of think that's not the case. I think we mentioned it before. I think dump truck wrestlers are good. I think dump truck rookies are good. Like we have Celine Mizora over there and stuff like that. That's obviously great. We have Venny and wrestlers like them are obviously great. But I think to be a really next level great wrestler, what you need in your life basically is to experience failure, to have been like really down, like at a really low point in your life, to like build your character and to like know what suffering is and to build your character around that. I think that's what makes a wrestler a great wrestler, if they can translate that into their in-ring work and into their wrestling personality. We'll see if Sayaka has the same thing. But I think like if you just take like, I don't know, college star athletes, that's not the type of person that strikes me as someone who has really had to struggle in their lives. You know what I mean? And I think that's what wrestling needs more than anything else. Great characters and great story builders. And I don't mean like with great characters, I don't mean like stupid gimmicks or whatever, fucking honky tonk man or whatever. I mean like deep people who have a deep understanding of building a character, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would even put it more generally than that. I just want more theater kids in wrestling. That's kind of what I keep saying. I don't care if you actually have suffered, but as long as you can act it.
Yes, theater kids.
I just want more dramatic people in wrestling. I feel like that's a hot take, and I don't know why it should be. Wrestling is fake. It is not a sport. It's not a sport. It is not a sport.
Because I hear that's like there's a counter sentiment to that going on right now. That wrestling needs less theater kids and more.
It needs fucking more of them.
NIL,
not like MJF though. Shit. Not non MJF like.
Yeah, like kids. Not every theater kid is
no. Yeah, there are some failures. So.
Yes, but like, yeah, that's just my opinion on that whole thing.
No, I mean, we agree on this. All right.
Absolutely.
You got anything else? I mean, that's kind of crazy. I didn't know about that Tam thing.
So she doesn't really write about Saya Kamitani in her book, unfortunately.
When was it released?
2021, like
okay.
During her white belt reign, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. So even before she dropped it. So
yes.
Saya was still a babby back then.
At least I think so, because I think she would have included that otherwise. And all her pictures, she still has the belt and stuff. Even on the cover, she still has the white belt. So
Saya wasn't doing anything before that.
Yes. I mean, Tam was obviously already an important person in life, but that's not something like the book is very much kayfabe. It's very much about Julia feud mostly.
Yeah.
She has a big chapter about Saori Anu, who she admired a lot. Like, she wanted to become a wrestler after she saw a Saori Anu versus Natsupoi match. Did you know that?
Oh, in Actress Girls.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Natsumi Maki also. But yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what it was. I just found that fascinating when I flipped through that Tam Nakano book today after reading your summary of the Saya Kamitani book.
It's fucking deliberate, though.
Yes, Saya must have read
Saya's
this book
doing it
recently
deliberately
or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's so
There's
fascinating.
so many parallels. It's crazy.
No, but even to choose like the name of the book and stuff, I feel like
Yes,
I know I read the love letter, right? So, but it's even more than that. I feel like Saya Tam must be so important to Saya just as a person. I know we know that, but my words aren't doing it justice.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so cute. Cool. Anyway,
Awesome.
What are we doing with the rest of this podcast? Are we actually
Well,
doing?
So if the listeners hear this and that might mean I put the Saya Kamitani thing in a separate episode, and we're just gonna continue with our show reviews. But maybe you're gonna hear the entire thing in one podcast. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, we haven't decided.
It's gonna depend on how long the rest of this takes. So
all right,
maybe that's gonna be
do it and then decide after.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Do you want to do Stardom then?
Yeah, sure.